Lights, camera, silence on the set, tape rolling, 3, 2, 1, action. Welcome to the Church of Suicidal, without a sermon and a wonderful recital. But before I go on, there's something I must mention. An important message I must bring to your attention. I was at meditation and prayer last night. I was woke by a shining bright light. Overhead, a glorious spirit. He gave me a message and you all need to hear it. He said, send me your money. That's what he said. He said, send me your money. Give me some bass. And now let's have some silence for all you sinners. Give me a little more bass. Yeah, that was funky. And if you only can send $1 or $2, there ain't a hell of a lot I can promise to you. But if you want to see heaven's door, make out a check for $500 or more. That's right, he said, send me your money. Yeah, we'll take checks, we'll take credit cards, we'll take jewelry. We'll even take your mama's dentures if they got gold in them. Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. Yeah, another thing I can't stand, these fucking preachers on TV, all dressed up in these suits in these elaborate stages and studios, fucking airplanes and multi-million-dollar homes and big money paychecks. Got people, and they're on TV, and got people even on their behalf on TV, telling everybody to write them big checks and give them money, so they can have a big fat-ass paycheck. And there's still plenty of poverty in the world, and they say they're collecting it for overseas, too. Their missions overseas, where they need these fancy jet planes. But, you know, first they take their cut off the top to buy another summer home, a couple cars, and plus give another job to maybe somebody's son-in-law that's ready to get their daughter pregnant and give them about 10 kids, and pretty much it's a system just like that fucking people talk about corporate welfare. These politicians supporting corporate welfare. It's another fucking version of corporate welfare, and they seem to get more and more brazen with audacity. Bigger, their brass balls get bigger and bigger every fucking other day, year. Just when you think you heard it all, they're fucking on, going on TV, and they don't, not only, they say, oh, God's going to open up the gates of heaven. You got one guy on TV telling you to buy a shofar for a bunch of money on his thing there, and blow a shofar in the middle of your yard, and you're not even a dang Jew. But nothing against Jews, but there's these people that they want to go, they talk about Jesus Christ, but they want to go completely by the Judaic law and act just like the fucking Pharisees that was trying to murder Jesus to start with, you know, and the people that did away with the prehistoric sacrificial dogma, which, by the way, these preachers actually preached that shit was right at the time, and shit, you never know, they might be still practicing it behind the scenes, you know. I mean, they might even be fucking going to Bohemian Grove, yeah, Bohemian Grove over there with the rest of the celebrities and all the rest of those narcissistic fuckers out there. But yeah, and just when you think you heard it all, that's another thing I was going to say. They want your fucking property too. They're advertising on there, and if you have oil and gas leases, sign it over to them. And they have had an ad on there, clicking the channels. Oh, did you know that the state takes over your property or whatever the hell if you're old and you don't got no will? Why don't you will your property, your house, your estate to us, and you'll be doing something real good for God. These gullible ass people, some of them ain't even bad people. They're gullible and stupid. They got poverty. They probably got community centers and places that are giving food to the poor in broken towns right next to them. Poverty in their own town and things that need fixed up in their own town, and then they got and they're giving money to these fucking television ministries. Yeah, they fucking want your will too if they can get that. Just like that song from that their band from My Day, Suicidal Tendencies, that I was singing to you in a piece of this video. Yeah, they'll and there's dumbass people. Nothing against them. You shouldn't belittle them. They don't even know what the hell they're doing, or some of them are either willfully ignorant. They're hypnotized. They're living in like a fantasy. They actually think that by giving money to these people, that they're gonna get a VIP place in heaven. I mean, well, there's some of them that with a lot of damn money, they're not just, some people call them, they're stealing from the poor. The reality, they don't really want the money from the poor. They'll take it. They want people, attract people with big money to give it to them and say they're going to have a VIP place in heaven. These people, some of these fucking rich people that give these big checks to these people, they're just like the damn Pharisees. They ignore the poor so they can feed the people that are narcissistic just like they are. The people that give them this fucking money are just as narcissistic as they are. Like some people, I don't want to say the other people that speak against this bullshit that are wrong when they say they're stealing from the poor. They actually don't really want the money from the poor. They prefer people to give them big paychecks. And you might have a church that's really trying in your community, keep your community from going into complete decay. You should go to your own fucking community first. You might have a community center or some church, a white or black church, that's actually trying to do something for kids. And there's people out there that are preaching this bullshit and endorsing this bullshit, and they never in their life, if went and standed out in the cold to collect money for the poor, or did anything, or got themselves dirty or any kind. Oh, and they wouldn't. That's really beneath them. They want to wear a suit and grandstand. They think they're doing a lot of work for the Lord. Quote, doing a lot of work for the Lord by. Yeah, and they got their perfect hygiene culture they hide behind. They'll look down on you if you don't dress like them or whatever, too. If you're a man, you got to wear this tons of man perfume and these all these suit coats even and all that stuff, and they hide behind all that shit. If you call them on, they won't get dirty and or stand out in the cold to actually do something for the poor. Yeah, they got their pride cometh before the fall. You know, how many of them people think when everything collapses, those people ain't even gonna know how to survive. But even some of us that kind of do, we wonder if we'll even make it. These fuckers will be screaming and crying because they're dumb sheep. They don't know. You get some of the people that have some Christian in them. They know how to live off the land or whatever. But you got all these other corrupt individuals that's only so they can get rich. And then you got all these other religions, getting all this money from these people, building their temples and their buildings, all kind of different religions and groups out there. You even got these other ones out there that rich in oil and building these temples, these corrupt Muslims and everything else too. You got places like the Unification Church that's still around. I saw an article, that guy owned major newspapers in New York City or some damn crap around here, and he went to jail for some kind of embezzlement or some kind of financial white-collar crime. He actually had some Korean guy and his wife, the leader of the Unification Church, he actually did some jail time around here. I see in their pictures too, they got these robes and they got these crowns or hats or whatever the fuck they wear. Hopefully I'm not confusing with somebody else, but you got all kind of groups like that, cults out there, people that are taking advantage of vulnerability, people that are disenchanted with the way the world is getting, disenchanted with Hollywood and disenchanted with everything, and they're easy pickings, and they're looking for something to belong to, and they get taken advantage of. A damn shame. I mean, yeah, money is the only. Just like the one song I was singing you. He ain't no prophet. The rest of the lines to that song. He ain't no prophet. He ain't no healer. He's just a two-bit goddamn money stealer. Send in your money.